Look at that, I'm live. Woohoo! I did it. Was that the longest 20 minutes of your life or what? It certainly was for me. I know we have to wait a little bit for Facebook to let folks know that I'm live, but thanks for bearing. I know I'm late. This never happened, guys. I swear to God. But Pachi, I guess she said that it's Mercury retrograde, so I guess that makes total sense. So, yeah, let me see if you can hear me, if you can see me, if connection's good. And I'm here today to talk about advocacy. So for those who don't know me, well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and start it. You guys can catch up later. I mean, it's all good. So I'm Thaty. I'm a professional career nanny here in Boston, and I also well, I'm a member of several organizations, very active, very, really into the community and doing a lot of, not just for nannies, but also for children and families. I'm also the founder of Thaty, where I teach nanny classes and also parenting classes. And thank you so much, Emily, for inviting me. She asked me to come and talk a little bit about advocacy and a little bit of the stuff that I've been up to and projects and all of the causes I've been fighting for the last couple of years. I will start it. Well, first of all, a few organizations that I belong to that I'm really active are NACY, so that's where I think she found me. We had a big win last week. So NACY is the National Association for Education of Young Children. And then I'm also a leader with Matahari Women's Worker Center, which is locally here in Boston, but we're also affiliated with the National Domestic Work Alliance. And I'm also on the board of directors of the INA, the International Nanny Association. So those are three organizations that I'm really, really active at the moment, and pretty much the last couple of years, I'd say. And I can tell you a little bit about what's going on in each of them. So with NACY, for those who don't know, so that's the National Association. I have been more active with them the last year in policy work and advocacy because that's what I'm really passionate about. First of all, I don't think I can see messages. Oh, I can. Hi. Okay, hi Jen, hi Angela. Cool, all right, good. So I've become really into advocacy with NACY because they seem to be, I mean, the work they do, I've always been found out, even when in my teaching years, but they have, the power of the profession and became really invested in what they're doing, their research, because I think we can learn a lot from it and apply to our nanny industry. But I did a live with Angela about that, so you guys can go there and see. And this last week or the last couple of months, we've been really talking about the CCDBG, which is the Child Care Development Block Grant that the government was part of the president's budget, and they wanted to see what was going to happen with that. So this has been like something we were learning about and preparing to discuss with Congress for a few months. And earlier this month, we actually, 300 of us went to DC and we talked to our representatives. So we have about 300. I think I'm not sure on how many states we represented, but we also, we were there with our delegations, like state delegations. I was there with MACE, the Massachusetts Association of Education of Young Children. I think our group was about 12 people, and we had meetings set up with our senators. We had meetings set up with our state representatives. So it was amazing. We had like 2 full days of training, so we learned about how the president's budget works, where things go, how it works when, once they pass, it doesn't mean necessarily that's going to go to where they say they passed. So there was a lot of learning, which was amazing. And then we also practiced our conversations to go into Capitol Hill and talk to the senators. So I'm from Massachusetts, so we got to speak with the staff of Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senator Markey. And also I had my state representative, which was Michael Capuano. And it was fun because we didn't have just NACY folks there. There were also folks from Moms Rising and, oh shoot, I'm gonna forget the other one. I don't remember. But we're also delivering petitions for the childcare for all. So it was a wonderful day to be with so many people there. What that means, so the big win was that they passed the biggest increase in history. It was like an 80% increase on the budget for childcare development. And sorry, someone's stealing. Okay, for childcare development. And people are asking, what does that mean to nannies? Directly, if you're going to ask me, that just means that the families that can afford us won't be trying to hire for $5 now, because they're going to have a spot in a daycare that now, you know, they've been on waiting list and now they can go. So in a shell, it's not really directed to nannies. It's more for families. So we have, I think, in Massachusetts, I know only 20% of the eligible kids to attend, you know, government-funded daycare, preschool, only 20% of them can actually attend. And there are actually people that are, you know, children that go into waiting list and they actually phase out of the program because they have 4 years in the waiting list, and then of course they are not eligible anymore. So with this huge grant, with this huge increase, I think the number, I don't know if I wrote down, but it was like over 100,000 kids, 151,373 children would benefit from this. So new spots for government-based care, and that's really huge. That also includes, you know, about 600 million for Head Start and a few, you know, 100 and something millions for early Head Start. So that makes me happy. That's pretty cool. Oh, hi, Abby. Sorry, I'm kind of slow to read here. I get too excited talking about this. So yeah, so that was the early win that we had last week. But another thing that I would say, what does that mean for us? When I was there, I also had a chance to talk about the nanny industry. Even though I was with my educator colleagues, of course, because Macy had organized that, I didn't want to, you know, steal the show and just talk about nannies. But I did talk a little bit, and I asked permission, like, well, is it okay now that we call, like, I was on a thank you tour, because our senators are amazing. They were definitely supportive of the stuff we were advocating for. So I just mentioned, like, well, I'm also on the board of INA, and I would like to just bring, you know, light to the nanny industry as well, since we're talking about high quality childcare. So this is where, for me, all of my vision, embodies everything together with the high quality care. It doesn't matter if it's in the school, if it's at home with parents, if it's home with, nannies. I think we all, share the value that, kids deserve their, the best environment to learn, the best care available. So that's really what I strive for. And anyway, it doesn't matter which organization I am representing. I think we all share some kind of, that value. So when I talked to our senators, I did mention, like, well, and I am a former educator. I was in the classroom, didn't feel fulfilled. I love being a nanny best. And I told them, like, well, we also don't have regulations for in the nanny industry. Everybody can be a nanny. They don't need to have any trainings, any certifications. They're lucky if we have, parents are requiring CPR first aid, but this is not something that it's not required. It's not regulated, right? So I had the chance to speak about that. I'm actually working on an email follow-up to thank our senators, where I'm going to bring light again on that subject. And what I would ask is just, again, I'm one person doing this, and we all know that when it comes to advocacy, I'm doing my part. Yes, it's at least it's, I'm planting a seed on our representatives, but it's really about collective, collective voice. So the more people are active, and more they will pay attention to us. So I was really excited when Laura put the Nacy group together for nannies that are active, because I honestly haven't really seen, I know we had a nanny forum in the past, but we haven't had it in a few years, I would say. And she decided to put together, which I'm really hopeful that we're going to have more nannies engaged at Nacy, and we can start advocating more for standards in our industry. Now, as I said, I'm also part of INA and Matahari. Matahari in Boston, we do more work locally. We were involved in the passing of the Domestic Workers Bill of Rights, so we have protections guaranteed for, house cleaners, nannies, and PCAs, and our domestic workers law is definitely the most comprehensive in the country, so we take a lot of pride in that. But that also means that when you look back, I think, what's the number now? I think 7 states only have these are protected in the law, so that's pretty low. Taking that, we have 50 to go, right? Not to go, but we have 15 total. But this is, again, we work with the National Domestic Work Alliance. So if you're in your state, if you'd like to be passing laws that protect domestic workers, you know, that include nannies, then you can definitely reach out to, you know, myself or anyone that belongs to NDWA or have been involved. And I'll be more than happy to help you connect and tell you how the process went for us to get that. And finally, with INA, we have so many wonderful things. And one thing that I want to talk, guys, like Advocacy 101, right? So what's Advocacy 101? I think it's simple, just remembering that, one, the politicians work for you. So they are there to represent the people. So take that in and see how powerful you are. So first of all, I think what I'd invite you to just go and, first of all, get to know your representatives. Who are your representatives? Who is your senator? Who, you know, you go to findmyrepresentative.gov, I think, and you just type in your zip code and it will tell you who your representatives are. So you stay tuned. What are their causes? What are they fighting for? Send them an email, tweet, just let them know you're watching them. Again, they're working for you. And I mean, if people know the power that you have to just go there and, you know, hey, I'm a nanny, this is what we go through, let them know, because they don't. And they actually love hearing from you. So one thing that I was pretty impressed, it was my first time going to Capitol Hill, like to the Senate office. Like we actually enter like several offices, but they're all open and you can go whenever you want. Of course, if you schedule a visit, chances are that they will actually have time to talk to you. But it's the same thing here in Boston, and you know, wherever you are, you can just call your representative. They have their staff, they can talk to you. So really just letting them know what you know, your passion for the industry, what you'd like to see, if they pass something that, you know, you agree. In Boston, we are definitely calling and thanking them for passing or saying no to bills that doesn't benefit us. We had, you know, we're working hard with au pairs right now because agencies from au pair agencies are trying to remove them from the domestic workers' rights that we have here in Massachusetts. So that's our biggest fight at the moment here in Boston. And finally, I think one thing that I wanted to bring up in regards to INA, and not just, I'm gonna say, you know, say this as Thaty, as a professional career nanny, not as a INA member or board director. But this really goes for, it doesn't matter which organization really you belong to, but I know I see questions like pretty much every week or every month asking about, is it worth to join INA? Is it worth, like, what do I get from it? And my answer is always, when I see it, it's like, well, first of all, you get what you put into, right? So an organization is not made of just the people on the board or whoever is offering you stuff. It's made of the members. So we need to have that engagement, that back and forth, to make something meaningful and to, you know, to actually serve the industry. But I would invite you to actually empower yourself, find that power within, and ask a different question. So what can you do for the INA? What can you do to NACI? And again, our organization is really based on their members. So if you go in with that mindset that you have something to offer and to serve, you're definitely going to get way more out of it, and you're going to make an impact. You're going to make a difference for the whole industry. So with the INA per se, well, most of these organizations, like, I don't get paid for any of them, right? So everything's volunteer work, is on their own time. And if you know me, like, I'm always extra busy. But, you know, it is something that it makes me happy to see the difference we make and the people we help. So it's so, and we can't do this on my own. So even joining the INA board, like, I'm part of a lot of committees, and I realized, like, I should have asked for a bazillion of volunteers to help me, and this is on my list this year. But, you know, if you want to participate or do anything, like, we need people, because we have wonderful ideas, we have lots of projects, and we want to see and come to fruition. But we are we 12 now? I actually don't even know how many. So I know who was on the board, I just don't, I haven't counted. But, you know, it's 12 people, and we can't just do everything on our own. It takes time, and it takes you know, a lot of skills. Some of us don't have all of it. So if you could donate your time and your energy and your desire to help others and to serve, we would love to help, you know, to have you either, as I said, INA, NACI, Matahari, or, you know, whatever organization you choose to join. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if we have people live, if you guys have questions. I know it's not a lot of people are into advocacy, and you know, it sounds scary. Civic engagement. We actually did a show, should come out soon, NDR, about it. But it doesn't have to be scary. As I said, it's really just, you know, knowing that you hold the power, that politicians work for you and they have like an open door policy. You can contact them and let them know you exist, and hold them accountable for things that are important to you. And you can also join, you know, and participate on your in some industry organizations. And this way, you know, as I said, no act of activism is actually too small. So it can go a long way. I think that's all for me. If you guys have any questions or would like to connect, you know where to find me. I'll be more than happy to answer questions. So Emily, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.